Hey, class group, this is Adrian Callies. I'm excited to be with you all this season. I won't beat around the bush. Let's just get into the prompts. So, three things that you should know about me. Number one, everything about my life, everything about my ministry and calling. My marriage is foundational to that, which would be my first ministry. My wife, aka I call her my rabbi, is my teacher and will continue to be that for me. And that means near and dear to me above um, a lot of other things other than the Lord Himself. So that's the first thing. Second thing, as far as theology goes, I like to call myself a charismatic reformist. I am charismatic. And you'll probably see that in how I write and just my views on things and topics that we'll discuss here. And then the last thing is I'm someone that carries a lot of joy. I know that for sure. It's been evident to me that that is my reality. So if you don't see that I have a lot of joy in some discussions or engagements, you can probably err on the side that that would be a good time to pray for me because I might be going through something. And I know that the Lord answers prayers and hears prayers, and you interceding for me will probably keep my joy up, and that would be a great thing. So I say that openly. And yeah, those would be my three things. Secondly, going into the second prompt. I'm pretty new, guys. I'm pretty new to the chaplaincy realm. I think this is something that God has been brewing in my heart for some time now, and now I'm starting to actually, make strides and actually test what I think He's shown me. And as far as advancing His kingdom, making disciples, etc., all that good stuff that comes with being a follower of Jesus, I believe chaplaincy is the context in which I want to fulfill that. As far as like practicalities of what that looks like, I definitely think either chaplaincy in the hospital context and or sports realm for sure being a context that I'm quite familiar with just from past experiences, maybe even corporate chaplaincy. Those would be like the realms of chaplaincy that I definitely think I'd like to explore their desires of my heart. Right now, currently, and as far as like what am I expecting from this course, I'm coming from John 14. The Holy Spirit is ultimately my teacher, and with all the curriculums and requirements that come with this class, I'm confident that the Holy Spirit is going to be teaching me something. And that's a win for me to fulfill this call that I believe the Lord has given on my life. So it's really the mere expectation. Obviously, there's a lot that goes behind that statement, but just to put it simply, that's what I'm expecting from this class. As far as like the foundation that I believe God is beginning to build, like in His chaplaincy ministry for me, is really the number one theme is freedom. I believe that, Jesus was very clear in Luke 4 when He said, I've come to set the captives free. I want to see the oppressed go free. And I think oppression takes form in all kinds of shape, and people are struggling, and people are suffering from those forms of oppression, and Jesus wants to set them free, and freedom goes a long way for those people, and I'm a testament to that. So that would be the bedrock of my ministry at the end of the day, and I think those are all the prompts. As far as like the reading goes, I know I'm a little over, but I'll just say this one last little nitbit to answer the prompt question. As far as like the takeaway goes, so I went to APU in my undergrad, so I always heard about the Wellesley quadrilateral, but I never saw it like really broken down like in this week's reading. And what I loved about the reading itself is how it always went back to like the involvement of the Holy Spirit, as far like, for example, with the Holy Spirit bringing life to the scriptures, and this whole idea of narrative. And I'm a firm believer that without the Holy Spirit, we can't engage the scriptures like we ought to, like in our experiences and context, and therefore there can be no sort of meaningful like praxis and whatnot. I mean, obviously experiencing in a different light, experiencing the Holy Spirit is also an experience. And, that's another takeaway that I believe the reading was suggesting. So I love how the Holy Spirit was just central to this week's reading, and it's essentially, God's way of moving in this side of eternity and in the world. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I'll stop there, and I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.